Yeah, I have to apologize. I left my frock at home today, so apologize on that one. So I grew up in public schools, so I have a problem with commas. Yeah, that's why I got into pastoring, because when you're talking, you don't have to worry about commas. Do any of you have that one friend that likes to jump in on your writing, and like you're part of their writing club, and they like to point out your comma flaws? Yeah, they kind of pointed out like, hey, you missed a comma. And you're like, oh yeah, thanks, I appreciate ya, Cheryl. Yeah, like I appreciated those hemorrhoids last week. Some of you didn't laugh on that one. That's okay, because we know who you are. You're the comma abusers. Sorry, comma, this bit's not over, period. We got a little bit way to go. In fact, we're about to talk about something you absolutely love. I mean loathe. We're going to talk about texting. Isn't texting just magical? I'm not just talking about Disneyland magical. I'm talking about like unicorn magical. I mean, it's so amazing because texting is like this amazing environment where all of a sudden you enter into this magical land where punctuation just does not matter at all, right? It's like you totally have a pass. It's like I might use a comma, and I might not use a comma. And for some reason, you get a comma pass, okay? But it's like all of a sudden when you decide to write an email, it's like, here comes the comma scrutiny, you know? I have this one friend, and when I say friend, I'm using that term really liberally here. Very liberally. Yeah. Every time I go to write them an email, I write the email and then I look it over, and then I put the comma in, and then I'm like, and I take it out, and then I get all nervous, and then I get like comatose. And then all of a sudden I get like rebellious inside, and like 16-year-old me comes, and I just hit the send button. And then I get all like anxious and like almost having like a panic attack, and all of a sudden I just realize that I'm about to be shamed by somebody in a cubicle over my comma usage. You know who didn't have commas? The ancient Greeks. Yeah, they didn't have commas at all. All their letters were packed together like an alphabet in an Indian subway car. And they, yeah, exactly. And can you imagine the guys from 300, right? The movie 300 being concerned about commas, right? No, they were. That's what they were fighting for, all right? They were fighting for no commas. Can you imagine the first time they saw a comma? I can, because I think it was, yeah, I can.
Because of Cheryl.
Yeah, because of Cheryl. The first time they saw a comma, they probably did the same thing that I did when I saw a comma and tried to brush it off the page because it looks like a crumb, right? I mean, so the other day, oh yeah, one other thing about these comma people, these comma abusers. One other thing, yeah, like some of them claim that commas save lives. Have you heard this before? It's Facebook memes and all this stuff, right? So commas save lives. So they use this as an example. Take this statement. Let's eat, kids. Or let's eat kids. Right? And it's like, oh yeah, like as soon as I saw that without the comma, I was putting on a napkin and sharpening up my knives because, yeah, of course. Really? Okay. Okay, so the other day I'm in Powell Books. I just moved here a year ago, and Powell Books is amazing. But I'm in Powell Books, and I'm around all these writers who are using commas, and Powell Books, by the way, has way too many commas for me to ever care about. But I'm in the cafe and I'm looking out, and suddenly I realized that as I'm just like creepy, just staring, people watching at the stoplight, that our nation has a texting dilemma. And although I love texting because the whole comma punctuation agreement. Like, I realize that we have a serious problem, and I'm going to give you 3 examples of why this is such a big deal. So that I'm watching as people pull up to the light, and I'm realizing there's like a serious engagement with comma, or not comma usage, with texting. And so this guy like pulls up to the light, and as he does, he's like text a couple letters and then look at the light. He'll text a couple letters and then he'll look at the light. He'll text a couple letters and then look at the light. Text a couple letters and look at the light. And I was looking at him like, what is going on? Like, something about this guy, he's like so animalistic, right? And I'm like, who does he remind me of? And he's like a mad dog. And I'm like, that's it. He reminds me of my dog. Yeah, my dog. He'll grab tissue out of our waste paper basket. He'll take it downstairs or like to some remote place, and he'll sit there and chew on it, and he'll look up as if somebody's coming in the room. He doesn't want to get caught. And I was thinking, like, this is the same thing. Like, texting has turned us into animals. Then I realized it kind of reminded me of me too. Like when I was 16, I used to get those Victoria's Secret catalogs, and I was like, I'd be in my room, I'd be looking through them, and I'd be looking towards the door in case my mom would walk through. But texting is this really serious problem. Here's the other scenario. Scenario number 2. Yeah. Scenario number 2 with the texting. You know, this girl comes up and she's pulling up to the light, and as she pulls up, she's like texting. She starts like texting before she even gets to the light. She looks like she's like driving with her elbows as she's like going forward, right? And I'm just sitting there watching. I got nothing to do. Everybody's riding and being productive around me. I'm watching her pull up to the light. 30 feet from the light, she stops. There's like 3 invisible cars in front of her, okay? Right? She's got no reason to stop. And she's like completely oblivious. In fact, her car starts slowly rolling forward. This is an issue, people. We need to get on it. 3rd story, okay? 3rd story. Dogs are supposed to be man's best friend, okay? I saw somebody, this is what they were doing. They were walking by the front of Powell Books, walking their dog. Their dog was behind them, and they're texting. This is the phone, okay? They're texting just like this, and they're walking like they have a walker, like they're geriatric condition, right? So they're just kind of like walking like this, texting. Their eyes are bulging out like crazy, and their dog is just sitting there not engaged at all. They're dragging their dog behind them. They have no idea that they're still walking their dog. They're so into it. It's so sad. Oh, please. Anyway, my name is Tim. Thanks for your time. Have a good evening.